Consciousness is the one thing you can never escape. It's the thing that's always there, the voice in your head, the sense that you are you. Even though it's such a big part of life, we still don't really know what it is. Some people think it's just something the brain does. Others believe it's something way deeper, maybe even spiritual. Whatever it is, consciousness is one of the biggest things and one of the most puzzling mysteries in science and philosophy. So what is consciousness? In basic terms, consciousness means being aware. So like being aware of yourself and your thoughts and your feelings and the world around you. It's the inner experience of being alive and knowing you exist. Scientists often talk about things like brainwaves or neurons firing when studying consciousness. But even when we know what parts of the brain are active, that still doesn't tell us why those brain signals feel like anything at all. You can measure brain activity, but you can't measure the feeling of happiness, pain, or wonder. It's like your brain is hardwired, but consciousness is the experience of what's happening on the screen, and no one fully knows how the two are connected. It's like you have a computer and you have all the hardware and components to your computer. Personally, I built my own computer, so I know exactly what it's like to spend a boatload of money on computer parts. But I could not begin to tell you how each of those parts work and how I see what I see on the screen. There are a few major theories that scientists have come up with to try to explain consciousness. One is called the Integrated Information Theory, or IIT. It says consciousness comes from how much information a system processes in a connected, undefined way. Another is Global Workspace Theory. It compresses the brain to a theater where different mental tasks all send information to a central state that gets shared across the brain. These theories explain how consciousness might work, but they don't really explain why it exists in the first place. That's the big mystery. What philosopher David Chalmers calls the hard problem of consciousness. I really hope I'm saying his last name right. Why does a bunch of brain cells firing actually feel like anything at all? Philosophers have asked the big question about consciousness for centuries. René Descartes famously said, meaning that one thing we can be sure of is that we're conscious. This is called deluism. Others think that everything, even thoughts and feelings, comes from the physical brain. And there's a third idea called pantheism. It says that maybe everything in the universe, even atoms, have a tiny bit of consciousness. It's a strange idea, but it tries to explain how mind and matter could be connected. In Christianity, many believe consciousness is part of the soul, a spiritual gift from God. In Genesis 1:26, it says, humans are made in the image of God. That could mean our ability to think, feel, and make moral choices reflect our parts about God's nature. The Bible makes a difference between the body and the spirit. In 1 Corinthians 2:11, Paul says, who knows a person's thoughts except their spirit within them? That suggests that our inner life, our thoughts, and awareness come from more than just the body. Christians often believe soul and our consciousness keeps existing even after we die. It's not just a brain function, it's something really eternal. Different religions and cultures have their own idea about consciousness. Hinduism teaches that the consciousness is tied to an Atman, which is their eternal soul that goes beyond life and death. Buddhism sees consciousness as something that changes from moment to moment, like a flowing river. It's kind of weird. In Christianity, consciousness connects us to God. In Acts 17:28, it says, in him we live and move and have our being. That means our awareness might come from being close to God, not just from our brains. Early Christian thinkers like Justin Martyr talk about Jesus as the Logos, a word that means the divine logic or reason behind everything. Some believe consciousness is the reflection of a divine reason. If God is the creator of everything, then maybe our awareness is part of God's design. Maybe it's a way we're meant to connect with him. Some scientists even wonder if consciousness plays a role in the universe itself, like helping shape reality on a deeper level. So what is consciousness? It's a brain process, right? A spiritual gift? A clue about the universe itself? Maybe it's all of those. Maybe it's not something we have, but something we are. The more we learn about it, from science, philosophy, and faith, the more it seems like consciousness could be the key to understanding not just ourselves, but everything around us.